Hey everybody, my name's Steven Chipman. This is video presentation number 2. Today I'm talking about business ethics. I believe that's topic number 3. So let's get started. Applied business ethics. How to think ethically. There are a few ways people can handle workplace situations ethically. First is to analyze whether the proposed action or behavior promotes the greatest good or the greatest human welfare. That is, analyze how your actions or a fellow employee's actions affect other people. Decisions we make have a greater impact on others than we often realize. The second way to think ethically is to identify the legitimate rights or human rights of individuals or groups affected by the actions considered. That is to identify the rights you may be infringing on while communicating or committing a behavior. A manager hiring people based on race or prejudice would be violating the rights of those not getting the job. A manager should always hire based on merit, not race. Thirdly, you can look at ethics by analyzing whether all parties are treated fairly. That is equally or differently, only if there is a legitimate reason to do so. Although differently, I can't really think of a legitimate reason. You could also analyze whether the proposed behavior is consistent with recognized virtues. These everyone knows. These are integrity, honesty, responsibility, so on and so forth. Also, you could ask whether the common good is adequately served. That is personal good versus common good. Does the situation benefit one person or everybody? Preferably you would have it affect everybody positively. It's important to think ethically and analyze ethics because white-collar crime is pretty prevalent in today's business world, and it always has been. Economic difficulties can make people do desperate things. For example, a small business owner could borrow, quote-unquote, from the sales tax revenue to keep his business doors open. Though it seems necessary at the time, this, of course, is not ethical. And, ideally, he finds another way to keep his business open. White-collar crime will also exist because there are always people who are willing to do whatever it takes to survive. So the question is, how can we limit it? White-collar crime always comes down to a defining moment, a decision of whether to do right or wrong. Typically, choose wrong once and it becomes easier the next time to choose wrong. Therefore, when faced with these decisions, make sure you understand what you stand for and the kind of person you want to be. Also, have a mentor. Have someone you can go to for advice in these situations. A teacher, a friend. Hopefully they want what's best for you and persuade you in the right direction. I really think that reducing the risk of white-collar crime starts with management. And in those videos we watched, they agree with that. Managers can eliminate white-collar crime and effectively manage ethics in their work environment using the right strategies. So Santa Clara Business School of Ethics gives us these 4. One way to manage employee ethics is to trust them. Create the assumption that everyone in the workplace is ethical and honorable, and hold them to that high standard. Expect ethics behavior, and you will get it. The problem with this, of course, is not everyone is perfect and ethical, and you're really relying on the employees here. Another way is through compliance. You could establish standards of ethical behavior based on the law and write detailed standards stating explicit rules. This would be more of an authoritarian approach, managerial tactic. The risk of this is that it implies that there's a target on the back of lower level employees, maybe make them believe that management is out to get them, which of course isn't always the case. Always. Third strategy for managing ethics is to train employees to identify ethical dilemmas and ask good questions about possible ethical standards. Exhort your employees to act ethically. The risk in this, however, is there is no help in identifying correct ethical standards. Employees are kind of left on their own to figure out what's ethical and what's not. There's no guidance on complex ethical choices. The fourth and final strategy, in my opinion, the most efficient for managing ethics, is to define corporate values and ethical standards, and to educate your employees and reward them for following these values. Keep an open door to resolve tough ethical issues with your employees. This may take more time and energy from management, but I do believe it is ideal. Ethics in the workplace is very important, and the way we manage it and think about it is crucial in containing white-collar crime in America. I believe ethics education is a bigger part of business education today than it ever has been, and I look forward to seeing how my generation responds to ethical issues in the workplace. So thank you for spending the time with me, and have a good day.